Pick Central, January 16th, Thursday edition. Myself, Marty Mush, and Big Ev. NFL playoffs. We're talking about NFL playoffs. You bet we are. Brought to you by DraftKings. I should say that. Brought to you by DraftKings. NFL playoffs. We're talking about NFL playoffs. You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is the key to winning the NFL playoffs, and the key to you scoring big is betting on them at DraftKings, the number one place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. Here's another reason to watch your favorite players crushing in the playoffs. New customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big during the NFL playoffs with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PICKCENTRAL. That's code PICKCENTRAL for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. All right, let's start with college hoops, I guess. Should Kansas be concerned to a degree?
A little bit. Yeah, I mean, Zeke Mayo's really fucking good. Hunter had a tough night. I think they're missing just, I think, toughness maybe. I don't know what it is. They're talented. AJ Storr is really weird. I don't understand what happened with him. He's like coming off the bench and it's just like bad. But yeah, I think it's okay to say they should be concerned. Obviously, it's not a bad loss. They lost at Iowa State.
No, and Iowa State. Who does Iowa State? I don't want to diminish their players. But does Iowa State kind of remind you of Virginia from a couple of years back? Where it's like they don't have a lockstep, and maybe I'm forgetting, but they don't have like a lights-out pro. That Virginia team didn't have a lights-out pro,
They had
right?
multiple lights-out pros.
They did?
DeAndre,
Virginia that won the championship?
You are forgetting.
Yeah,
I'm not making fun. I'm forgetting. I just know that people are gonna.
Yeah, probably dunk on me. That's fine. Years ago,
it was so long ago. It was DeAndre Hunter though, like who was like
He was
a lottery pick.
All right, so I guess
Sixth Man of the Year candidate.
the other.
I was gonna say,
So that's
Ty
Jerome's had a
Jerome,
great career.
Kyle
Yeah.
Guy.
Ty Jerome's been really good.
all right. So here's the other problem. Once they get to the NBA, I don't really follow where they go.
No, it's
so if
fine.
they haven't crossed my path, I guess. So that's a bad comparison. Maybe if they've been like the is a better comparison. The Tennessee teams of the last couple of years, because those Tennessee teams they did have Dalton Connect, but that was kind of at the end. Tennessee's been pretty good here with like a good, it's a good core of college players
That's very
rather
fair.
than like loaded.
Virginia's even
I,
fair.
I had the right
Saying
idea.
that they don't have a star.
That, but
yeah,
like
you should have said that, not NBA players.
that
Star.
they play well together. Like they're defensive minded. I think this Iowa State team I think is very good, but they don't have an NBA like star.
I mean, they're just balanced. They're deep. Like they're well rounded. They didn't even have one of their best players yesterday, and so they were able to pull away at the end.
Arguably their most important.
Yeah, I mean,
No, I mean, your first question is fair. The Kansas should be a little like they got 74 to 57 is.
they pulled away at the end. Like it was one of those games where I was on. Iowa State was kind of like always in the lead, but there were times where they're up like 15, then it was kind of down to 5 for like a long period of time in the second half. But then they pulled away the last like 4
This is the
4 minutes,
problem
5 minutes.
With Kansas, right? Like KJ Adams, not a shooter. He's athletic as shit. He'll get you rebounds. He had 4 points last. Hunter also scoring 6 points last night is just that's when
Almost like an anomaly, yeah.
it doesn't happen. Like I think he's had a double like almost every game. Zeke Mayo, like it was one of his off nights. He was 7 of 19, and like you also have Juwan Harris, who's a good point guard, but he's not a guy who's getting you points either. Like they have a lot
He
of.
has not been able to like shoot it at a serious rate for the last 2 or 3. I mean, he's been in college for 7 years. I like his play.
He's averaging 9 points a game.
If you're he's not a scorer. If you're super nerdy, like watching a point guard play, like there's a couple of possessions I've watched, especially in Maui a couple years ago. He had or Bahamas, whatever, which one? I think Bahamas. He had a steal, made like a beautiful pass coming down, and then on the same return trip took a charge. Like that's all you can ask for in a point guard. Like he does everything. But yeah,
But it's
there was
weird,
also some
though.
weird games last year where like he wouldn't shoot.
Yeah, he does. He's not a great
He
shooter.
like didn't want to shoot. It was
Yeah.
it was weird. I like him.
They're in a weird spot, right? Because they were 5 of 16 last night from 3. Iowa State shot 61.5% from 3. That's just you can't win like that. But like they don't have great 3-point shooters on. Like it's literally Zeke Mayo. They took 16 threes. Mayo took 9.
Wow.
Like they don't have anyone else that's like a spot up, really shooter. Because AJ Storr, I think they thought was going to be able to be like this guy to fucking go get there, like go be another scorer. He's been he's averaging 6 points a game. What happened?
It's bizarre. Yeah, they thought he'd be like that big scoring wing.
What did he do last year? He averaged 16 points last year. He's
Yeah.
averaging 6.
Pull that back up. If you look at
I think that one of the things that just stands out to me is if you're off, like it's not like they're particularly shooting the ball well from 3. It's not like effective. They're not like effective. Their effective field goal percentage is 97, which isn't really good at all. Then when you put on top of that their offensive rebounding percentage, when you got someone like Hunter, when you got someone like Flory Badunga, you got KJ Adams, like the fact that you're not getting like second chance opportunities, like that's not like a recipe for success at all. And then when you see that glaring red, they're not getting to the free throw line. You're not getting free
one of the
opportunities.
last in the country.
Yeah,
that's
that's
it's like
bad.
what is that? Bottom like 5, 10?
Yeah, and if you're Dan Hurley, you got to be asking yourself, if you're a championship program, why aren't you getting calls?
They had 11.
When he said that.
Last night, 11 free throws.
yeah. And
I'm sorry. Wait a second.
What?
Did you guys see that? 127 free throws last
No,
night?
I heard. I didn't watch it. I like saw the.
UMass.
It was triple
One of
overtime.
UMass.
Oh my God.
I wanted to blog it, and the only TikTok I've seen, I didn't look deep into the highlights, but the only TikTok I've seen was when forcing on the foul at half court.
Fucking
At the end of
ridiculous.
overtime. So like, I want to see like the full thing. You know what I mean? Like I want to. Like, there needs to be a better like. Tell me the picture of it.
If you see 65 free throws from one team, you're like, oh my God. Imagine going to that game.
Bama and A&M
They have for like 10 hours.
They
I was
weren't
gonna say it
even
must have been
good.
the slowest game of all time.
They also weren't even
in triple overtime.
You're up in Rose Hill.
And they're also, it's not like it was a good game.
Yeah. No, it was played in front of close friends and family.
Yeah.
But it was UMass, so shout out Curry Hicks Sage.
37 for 57 and 48 for
48.
6.
Also shot. Oh wait. Yeah. No.
Shot what decent from
Fordham
3.
shot okay
Fordham
from the
didn't.
free throw line. LaSalle shot. UMass shot awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Davidson with an awful loss last night too.
Yeah,
Speaking of the
it's
A10.
bad. Dave was a bad
Another
one.
team with a D.
Awful.
Awful.
I cannot believe what's happening with my
They're
program.
horrible. Like it's not even like I'm not even. There's not
I
even
think
like
someone's fucking someone's
It's almost not
girlfriend.
even funny to like mess with you anymore because they're just bad. Like I don't know what happened in the Maui. They were.
I'm not kidding. This team at one point I thought was going to be better. Like when you look at just the non-conference, they played a tougher schedule than the 2020 team, and they were competing with better teams. Like they
Yeah.
outplayed Iowa State.
Should Andy
I know.
Grant
Like
be
they should have
sacked?
been.
I know.
I just googled
If we
it.
miss the tournament potentially.
I'm not even kidding, Dukes. I was like a little like in a way. I'm like, oh my god, Dukes is going to be like all
I don't
over
even
this
care.
team. No, I know. I'm saying back then I was like in Maui. I was like, holy
But
shit.
It's tough to explain to people that like don't like, and don't expect people to like follow Dayton in and out. It's like if you just watch this team even one half, you're like, what the fuck happened to them? It's like the Monstars stole their power.
No, I know. I watched last night because it was my last leg of the parlay.
They
and
got
I'm
ranked.
like,
They
it
got
wasn't-
ranked and then they got cocky. I don't know. The
Is
players
George
are
Mason like a good team? Or
they're like pretty good. They actually low-key have our numbers. They're on a 4-game winning streak against
Yeah,
us.
George Mason's not bad. Like, but like they
No,
played,
that's a-
like they
that's
beat
a loss.
UConn. You know, like
Where are
they.
you guys sitting now? Are you like 11
3 in
What
the
are you
A10.
11-6?
we were favorited to make the tournament yesterday. Now we're not.
Does
Yeah, no,
Denver
you're
win that
on the
third
bubble?
place
They're on the
now?
wrong
No,
side
we're
of
not.
the
Like
bubble.
we would have to
On the
basically
way wrong side of the
On the
bubble?
wrong side.
Like no, we would have to win out.
Every game?
No. You
That's
can lose
impossible. That's
so
just not
well.
happening.
If we like I know. I think if we like lose one game that like if we go whatever it is like if we have 10 games like 9-1
Well,
we could be on the
He
bubble.
is right though because there's not. They don't have many games to
We don't
make
have
it
opportunities.
up.
Like, that's what I'm saying about the A10 that people
tough.
don't understand is like when Archie Miller was the coach, the A10 was a gauntlet where you had like so many more Q1, Q2 opportunities.
Butler,
where a team
yeah,
team
St.
like George
Louis.
Mason, I don't think is bad, but they didn't do what they have to do out of conference to strengthen their resume.
Like,
so now
who's
like
even
it's a
good in the
landmine
A10
loss.
Is it fair to say the A10 used to get like 4 bids?
No,
Is it fair
it's-
to say the A10's like depressing? Depressing league?
It's gone down besides Dayton.
The top and again
When was the last time they got multiple bids?
last year.
Like
They did?
BCU
Who'd they
would-
get?
No, yeah, Duquesne and Dayton. They both went to the round of 32.
Okay.
Like it's always just like one team and then a bid stealer.
All right.
Like even VCU was supposed to be really good this year. They didn't do what they had to do out of conference. So now
Right.
they're like, St. Bonaventure's a good team, but like it's like they just lost. Like now their resume is like shrinking. So it's like there's good teams that just you can lose to that won't help you. It's just all games that do you nothing. But
Who did Duquesne beat in the first round?
BYU, Mark Pope.
I think I had BYU. Yeah, that's a bad pick. Who did you beat again? Your game was a classic.
Nevada.
Nevada
It was a
game all
classic.
time,
It was a
right?
Yeah.
classic. Yep, it was a classic.
Classic.
Yeah, not
That's
anything-
holding on to my. It's holding on
If
to my
anything,
happiness.
Dukes should be rooting for the girls in Survivor.
It's a beautiful moment. Beautiful.
I
moment.
don't know. It's a nice thing to cry. I don't get why people are
Yeah.
just.
Yeah,
so
I mean
emotional.
I mean, people get happy over weird shit. I mean, none of you have made me that happy.
They don't love ball as much as you do. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
I
what
gotta
I'm
be
saying.
honest, Dukes. I'd be upset if I made you that happy.
Yeah, like
We'd
Never
have a
get
different
shamed for
conversation.
crying.
yeah, like
Phil too. I forgot Phil.
Yeah, this is the like crying
I
in a
was
first
all
round
s-
win
Yeah.
game.
cried
I actually might say Dukes was less egregious.
Way lesser.
Like I think Meeks was more out of pocket. to
also
me.
I was
Because
white.
Dukes, or with Dukes, it was the big comeback.
he was also there.
And he was
Our
there.
game wasn't a big comeback.
Your game
but
was
well, let me finish.
New York Mets.
You made the playoffs
it was
2 years
yeah,
ago.
it was the Mets winning a playoff series they had won 2 years prior. Like for Dayton winning a first round game does mean a lot to a smaller school like that. It's different.
And also,
it's a little different.
It was more like the fact that I lost my senior year and I saw all these seniors like celebrating with their friends.
Yeah.
Like that's sick.
Well,
that was a hashtag.
That was
something about-
nostalgic. It
that
was
a
nostalgic.
hashtag
A lot was
something.
going on.
What comes into effect was that it was Dayton's best season and you lost
Yes.
the tournament. That like
And then the first tournament back,
Yeah,
we
I
had
mean,
like
you got
one of
robbed.
probably the sickest. I might just fucking live in Dayton. I haven't lost a game in Dayton. Like when I'm physically in the city of Dayton, I've not lost a game since I was a junior
wow.
in college.
You got to go more often, Dukes.
That is
They
crazy.
should start paying you to go.
Crazy, yeah.
This will be a tell, like a who's the next good game? Because if you go to that game and they win, because they've been so bad, that's
Yeah,
where
you got to
it's
test
goes.
it.
Yeah. But yeah, college basketball this year, I've been enjoying the shit out of it because there is a lot of good teams, and like the Kansas game was really weird last night. What the other game was I watching last night?
Tennessee had a win over Georgia.
Tennessee, I was on Tennessee. They
wasn't-
played so bad in the first half and just blew their fucking doors off in the second half. They came out. I think they were down 1 at half, by like it felt like it was like 5, 6, 7 minutes in, they were up 21.
Oh, South Carolina covered. That's what I was watching. That was a good game.
Really?
I don't know. This is where college basketball starts now, where people are gonna tune in during the week. There's no football.
Thursday night football.
College is over on Monday. Football is down to 4 teams after this Sunday. Like it's starting to, and it's big conference games. Yeah, it's. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I just wish we were talking about it yesterday, but I wish they did a better job of
Big Monday.
planning ahead to load the week each night. Where you're I got a good
hard
one.
to
Yeah, I
do,
know,
I
because
guess.
you're coordinating the leagues and you're coordinating TV times. Titus has even spoken about it. He was I was in some of those meetings. They do drafts on TV. It's more complicated than you think.
Yeah, it's not easy
Take all of that out of I know the logistics and whatever. Take that all out from a viewer thing. It'd be nice to have it fucking loaded Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday every week.
Yeah,
Friday's a
but
little
then it's
dead.
also
Well, that's right. I
hard,
think
though,
it's tough for them to
because then how you
load.
gotta play Saturday.
That's right. It's tough to load the Thursday,
Well,
Friday
they have
because
to
of the
play-
Saturday.
No, they would only have to load Thursday. Don't load Friday. Friday's dead. Let the MAC play Friday. MAAC. Let them play Friday.
Yeah, but is it not?
And
it's not-
Friday 10.
But you're going to play each league. Each league plays during the week and then plays Saturday.
Yeah, but they don't play. Most teams don't play Thursday and Saturday. Most teams play Tuesday and Saturday because that's what they
Pac-12
do.
used to play Thursday, Saturday because of the travel, but that's all out.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, most people. That's why it's Tuesdays.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Big day that everyone.
So
does
make
it.
Thursday. So Thursday's a little more dead, and then I guess Monday, Tuesday,
They should
Wednesday
pack.
is what I'm
They
looking
should
for.
pack Tuesday and Wednesday.
I think Tuesday, Thursday is good, and then I do appreciate as an A10 head, starting now they have A10 matchups premier.
Yeah, I like the
Like
Horizon.
VCU.
Big
Dayton.
Big Ten does Sundays, which is stupid.
Yeah.
Now, but then it's but when it comes
I
down to it,
appreciate it.
No, I think
no, I'm saying for normal.
It's also not bad. Now with
not
playoffs,
bad
they put it at noon.
Yeah.
you get a
There's
lead
no
in.
football until
That's
3 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what I
good.
was going to say.
That's
The
good.
lead in. They
Yeah.
get the lead in to because people especially the bars are going to come in and just all right. What's the first game? It's on CBS Saturday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Put on CBS at noon, and you're getting some just even casual viewers.
That's because
There's
the
a team in the
CBS at
Big
noon.
Ten,
There's always Michigan State's
Yeah,
always playing, or
I was just about to
Ohio
talk
State,
about them.
Michigan, or something like that. They'll always
That's
put
a team
then.
I fucking hate Izzo, but that's Michigan State's been playing pretty well.
But they don't. This is the other frustrating thing with, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't watched an episode yet this year, and I got sent a clip. Oates was on College Game Day last week, but they did College Game Day in the studio last week, correct?
I'm gonna be honest. That show needs to change it
I
up.
have no idea.
I haven't watched I haven't
I
watched
used to like
basketball
it
college
better.
game
Well,
day
that's
in a
my
while.
point, but
This year I haven't.
I used to like it better.
Would you have if they started, because there was no last week, the college football playoff was on Thursday, Friday, so they could have started last week. Yes, you had the NFL playoffs, but you could have started last week where you're making these campus tours all the way through. I feel like the show has a little juice when it's on campus. I agree. It's not a great.
It's the cast now. I used to like it better than the football one.
They did good segments. It is only an hour. I don't think they could do 3 hours, but
No,
I think an hour is perfect.
just going on campus and showing the buzz of Kentucky's playing Bama this week, or Syracuse Georgetown back in the day, and Duke Carolina. It also seems so predictable. They do Duke Carolina twice.
It's also
that's
tough with the Big East. But the fact that you get the Big East out of it, I think the Big East.
That's a good point.
Because now it's just the same SEC, ACC schools where you're not
true.
really, and no shot at them. I think Bama deserves a college game day, but the fact that Providence, Georgetown last year didn't get college game day because of some TV
That's
rights,
crazy.
it's that is college game
They
day.
could
It's also
creative,
it's
though.
also super hypocritical because with football, they're fucking rushing Herbie to the plane to go from Louisiana to go make Oregon at 8 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're sending these guys all over the place with the plane. College, they won't do that with Billis.
College there really is some good games. I like college football. They went to James Madison once, right?
Yeah.
They do make that effort. College basketball could make those Georgetown, Providence, even smaller.
They did
ones.
Dayton. And it was awesome. It was
Yeah.
one of the
They
best
did
highlights of
Dayton?
college. Yeah.
I think for
We
them,
did Dayton, George Washington. It wasn't even fucking VCU.
That's crazy. Actually,
I think the problem too is they just this early in the year, the hype around college basketball just
It's not there. No, I agree.
You're such a college basketball head. I think you get lost in it. I think it'll start getting good once football.
Ev,
once
I'm a
football's
huge
over.
college basketball fan. I just only am hyped to watch my team right now, and then I get more hyped to watch the other.
It's on a Saturday, last week was the first time where I sat down and was I'm betting a full slate of college basketball this week. Where like and that'll slow like this week. I'm going to do it again, but even though there's only 2 playoff games.
Next week's complete.
That week,
very niche.
that week,
listen,
yeah,
it's a very niche sport. I totally get that. It owns the.
though, but it's just at a bad time.
It's just you just have a bigger sport that's in the pinnacle of it right now.
How many
Our
people-
season's November to April, right? And it's like November is starting when football starts to
Right.
get like
It's-
really
it
important.
is, yes, it has a
December's
bad
important.
time.
February is when you take over. Like that's when
Yeah,
college
yeah,
basketball takes
yeah.
over.
But in fairness, it is nice to beginning games for college basketball that people tune into, and then during like December, it's kind of shitty. College basketball
December's not a great
because
month.
it's a lot. Like takes 2 weeks off usually
finals
for
and shit,
finals, and
yeah.
it's just not great. Then January starts to ramp up of conference, but it's like that's when football's happening. So
Yeah, I think there's a lot of problems. I think the problem with college basketball too is like some of the best games are in the first week of the fucking season, first 2
They
weeks
have
of the
to.
season.
Yeah, it sucks.
They have to play Maui then. Like I don't expect teams in the middle of conference play to go to Maui for 5 days.
Yeah.
You know, like there are roadblocks, and we're just addressing the roadblocks. Like
guess what? They can never change it up.
No.
because March
in a tough
Madness is
spot,
the
yeah.
biggest thing. It's like that's the problem though. Their regular season normally, but they have the best postseason. I don't think you can beat their postseason.
No, I mean no.
Also,
Yeah.
this year, Dukes, am I wrong? Not
Probably.
everyone makes not everyone makes the ACC tournament.
That I think is right.
I think it's
Yeah,
15
I
out of
think
18
it's-
teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's way too many.
That's crazy. to have
yes, because of
No,
the
it's
conference
not.
change.
No, but it's just funny. Like you're on the bubble of making the ACC tournament. Like that's kind of funny.
I mean, I hate to say this. If we want mid majors to be in the tournament going forward, expansion is inevitable to the actual tournament itself. Like people are like, don't expand the tournament. That's fine, but these Power 4 conferences are going to be so money hungry to get into the tournament and want more teams into the tournament that it's going to hurt the mid major schools. Like so, for someone like me as a mid major right now, for now, I think that like
You think they're
you're
moving?
going to have to expand.
I know Riggs has written like you keep on fucking up, and I think 96 and 128
It's
and
too much.
244 that they throw out are fucking asinine.
I think 80.
The
is
regular
like,
season
No, I
has
think
to-
70. I think 72 is okay. Let everybody play in,
I
and then
just
make the
depends how many-
16s play. Am I doing that math right? Would that be all the 16s play and all the 11s play? Because right now there's 2 play-ins in the 16s and 2 in the 11s.
I'd be okay
So
with
I would
that.
add 2 teams. Yeah, I think I'm right.
You know what would be fucking awesome is if the first year that they tried to do like the Power 4 teams, like they suck off the Power 4 teams and they give them what they want, is if like a school like Gonzaga or San Diego State or Dayton or like
it's
a
Power
mid-major
5 now. I think
What do you think's the 5th?
it's ACC, SEC,
Big 12 and Big 10.
Big 12, Big 10,
In
Big,
Big
East.
East.
Oh yes, college basketball. I apologize.
6.
Yeah, that's who's the 6th?
Oh, yeah.
Pac-12's out.
think
A10's
it's
not
power-
respectable.
I-
Mountain West is. You
Big
could,
East-
you
we're
could
gonna
make an argument the Mountain West is like the 6th or 7th best conference sometimes.
I mean, maybe
sixth
the
or
6th or
seventh,
best,
yeah,
but
maybe
it's
sixth or
not a
seventh.
part of the
We're saying
power. Not
power.
Oh,
anything.
absolutely not the power. I was saying
There's a big drop off.
Yeah, who's the next man up? It's them.
This kid,
they
I
get
w-
4 or 5 teams in the tournament every year.
I
They
want-
all do horribly. I know San Diego State made a final, but like they all do horribly.
I want to give this kid a shout out. It's Cole Adams. I don't know if you guys have seen him on Twitter, but he just has this thing like #thank you CBB, and you'd love it, Bosco. He talks about like what happened to like everybody like loving college basketball and like he loves like the Big Monday, Super Tuesday talk, like all that shit. I actually weirdly think college basketball is in a better place. How do you guys feel
No,
about?
it's way better.
How do you like compared to like I would say since Zion, it's in a better place this year.
Yes, because the
It's weird, I think-
NIL has only helped college basketball.
But those
for people
guys
to
are
stay-
in and out.
Do you like the
right away.
5-year?
I don't know. What do you think you got more attached to? A one and done guy who's like spectacular, but then he's gone, or JJ Redick being there 3 years?
Well,
and
that's
Christian Laettner
that's what
and-
we're getting.
Yeah, that's
now,
what I'm
though.
getting at.
We're getting those guys now with NIL. Like those
Yeah,
guys,
okay.
like
There is a shift back, I guess.
even
right?
like I honestly, I'm not. I know it's only the guy I could think of right now, but like Hunter wouldn't stay. Like he wouldn't. I don't know if he would have made it in the NBA, but like he's just like a guy that's like might as well stay for another $2 million.
The one thing that does suck is the fact that like we have guys that play 5 years, but they might play at 5 different schools. So that's
Yeah,
one
that's
argument
tough.
against it.
But then you also have to like, but that's also just fair to them. Like coaches are allowed to leave, you know. But like,
Yeah.
I think it is getting better because like the one and dones were getting like kind of. I think it ruined basketball. Like, and Duke was a big part of it, but like Kentucky was the start of it.
Iowa State's like a perfect example, in my opinion, of how it's been like beneficial to
But
college
now
basketball.
you think about your teams, right? Like even like Duke right now, you have 2 star freshmen who are probably one and dones, but you also do have guys that have been on the team now for 3 years and then almost 4. Like Bama has Cliff, who's been as a transfer,
Yep.
who's a senior.
Nelson.
Nelson, Sears has been around for 4
Sears,
years.
and then you have the rookies. Like, it's kind of
Phylon,
nice now. I think we're gonna get back to where it's like really, really good teams where you have the young guys, but also a lot of guys
a
stacked.
mix of things. That makes sense.
Can I
Yeah.
pull up conferences to see if you guys want to take a stab at it? I don't want to put you guys on the spot, but just maybe just pick some winners, like conference by conference,
Yeah.
like or just sleepers, value picks, because I think we can go through it together. They had updated.
Michigan.
Michigan's leading right now.
They're fucking good, man.
They're really good. I'm going to tell you who my pick is right now for this. Maryland, 50 to 1. Big Ten, like obviously the
But
Big Ten's
Do
crazy.
you think they'll win the regular season
Oh, this is regular season. Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying like the tournament.
tournament? All right, so yeah, regular season's very hard.
Illinois.
I could see Illinois.
Illinois is good.
Purdue, I could still see. I don't know what the exact records are, so it's kind of hard for me. But I was saying tournament-wise, I think Maryland's a good value pick.
I think they're really good.
I think Michigan has some capability, like really.
Great
I'm a
coach.
little great coach.
Great coach.
Friend of the program.
Yes.
I might have been a year too early on Penn State.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
stink. Kind
But
of.
what do you think?
Good, but they're good.
They're injured.
They're good, but they're just so close to getting over the hump. Like they're in a 4-game skid, and they
agree
like
with
the
that.
Illinois game was a blowout, but like they competed last night with Michigan State. They are banged up. They competed with Oregon the other day, lost by like 1
Yeah.
without their best player. So they're in like a weird spot. But I think they're a team if they get healthy in the Big Ten tournament that they could be.
They'd be
my man.
dangerous.
Yeah,
Do you
but-
love Michigan's guards?
I love Michigan.
I do too, but I just
They have like that weird thing where they play.
Donaldson's good, but
They also play like Danny Wolf, like up top. Like that's a guy that like,
Wolf
how the
is
fuck did
good,
he?
yeah.
How the fuck did he end up at Yale, coming out of Minnesota
For
It's
as
like a-
long as he did,
yeah,
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's insane. He's got a little like Jokic in him.
exactly.
Like he's just such a good passer.
Vlad is a really good defender. I
He
feel
is.
like he doesn't get in foul trouble
He's a
lot.
true like big man.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Vlad's good.
He's very good. They're a big team. They'll
They'll be a tough matchup for teams in the tournament.
like if you look at their last stats, their last game at Washington, they're very balanced of like their starting 5, 16, 15, 11, 19, and one guy had 6. Like that's a very balanced. Like everyone's getting their fair
Well,
share.
that's also holding through the season. So Golden's got 15, Donaldson 12, Gale 12.5, Wolf 12.4, Burnett 10.9. So they got 5 guys in double figures.
Yeah.
That also tells you don't. If one guy goes, has an off night, it's not going to kill them. So
I think that one team, I think that you could kind of see Michigan's up top. Michigan State's always going to be consistent with Tom Izzo. Don't know if you like. I think Illinois is really good. The plus 320 is not doing it for me.
is Izzo overhyped?
This year he might be back.
He does that thing where he makes a
Having
fucking
like deja vu.
It's like one of those things.
You
Like
want me to
when
go on a rant?
was the last time he really did something? He made the Elite Eight in 2019.
yes.
He beat the Duke team.
I was going to say something for Marty.
He beat the Duke team, but it's been 5 years since, and his teams have been like.
I have to refrain from saying things so I don't get in trouble again. But
Do you know the comment that me and Marty said about Izzo
What?
running?
that the AP wrote,
Yeah, that when you called me and you got the Associated Press hit me up. I was
I
like,
didn't know.
oh my
I said,
God.
"What's the AP?"
You didn't know?
And he goes, "The Associated Press." I go, "Uh-oh."
The one that we read off the polls every week.
Yeah, there's a not so nice headline about me and things I said.
I didn't know there was a headline. I
Oh yeah.
didn't know it made a headline.
Oh, it's a big one.
I think Izzo's
Izzo is
he's a
over-
fantastic coach, but his teams have underperformed.
Yes, they don't, but that's the thing what he does, right? It's almost like a Boeheim. They underperform, they barely get in, and then they'll win to get to the Sweet 16 and be like, look at this guy, look what a team he took. And it's like Michigan State was a powerhouse. Like it should be that powerhouse that this guy has been there for 40 years, however long he's fucking been there. And then it's just like they made a couple good runs. He's won 1 championship in how long now? Of course he's a good coach. I want to say he's a good coach, but I think he's more overrated than being one of these elite coaches.
Yeah, but they're to his defense, like making the Final Four is super hard. And then he had that
Insanely
stat.
hard.
It's so hard, and especially like draw of the tournaments and things like that. He had that stat where like if you played for him for 4 years, you went to a Final Four for like 15 years at a
Yeah.
certain point. Like he guaranteed at least one senior class to go to the Final Four.
Then
Like,
at one
that's
point,
crazy.
it's like you got to get that. You got
Yeah,
to
he
get
had
that
to-
second
he prob-
win. Like,
yeah,
he got
yeah.
the one win. You know, he got the one. But
I think
it's
he's gonna go down as a great coach, an elite coach. I think he needed to win one more title.
like, who would you put in the elite coaches in college basketball?
Ever? Wooden?
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, Wooden, Krzyzewski, Dean Smith. He won 2. I think he only won 2. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, you
Dean
almost
Smith,
got to put like Jay
Self,
Wright. No,
Self, Jay Wright. Yeah.
Hurley's going to be there. I mean, he won.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a short stint, but yeah, he's got 3.
Roy?
He's just going to be there.
got 2 already.
Roy's got to be there.
Roy Williams?
Roy Williams.
You think Izzo's closer to Bob Hurley than he is to any of these coaches? No, sorry, Huggins.
No. I think he's better than Huggins.
I'm saying, do you think he's closer to Huggins
He's
than he
closer
is
to
to?
Huggins than he's closer.
No, I think he's closer to the elite.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Final Fours, a lot of wins. Did a lot with not a lot of or maximized his talent. I feel like the most.
Doesn't that show with the coaches like not a lot of talent, right? Like that's like
Well, I shouldn't say not a lot of talent, but like I feel like made them overperform.
like UConn isn't like it wasn't a huge school, but they made it one because
Yep.
they were good coaches. You know, like that's where I'm like. The talent comes with how good of a coach you are. So that's kind of what your job is to get them there. But I understand like it's harder in smaller schools. But Michigan State's not a small school.
Did you put Pitino in the legend status?
I think so. I mean,
Close at
You
least.
took how many different schools to Final Fours? 3?
3.
Louisville.
I guess
Louisville,
didn't-
Providence, and Kentucky.
Louisville got stripped, but in my head it still counts.
Yeah, it counts. Louisville, Kentucky, and Providence.
It really like it's kind of crazy. Like it just
Might take a 4th.
it, like doesn't
I
count.
might have to bet it to jinx it.
How does it not count? That's so crazy.
Such bullshit.
It really is. They literally just like ripped it away. Like, it's kind of you really think about it, it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
The NCAA is meaningless.
It truly is.
Like as a governing body, they're and now they're truly.
now they're like
meaningless.
truly are like
Now they truly like they're a joke.
you should look for another job.
They're a joke.
Yes.
Like they have no real say in anything anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally get overruled by the Supreme Court that said like, this like jurisdiction you have irrelevant. Fine. Literally thrown in the trash. 100 years of like suppressing their athletes just thrown in the garbage can with one ruling.
I think that we should do an exercise maybe next week about we start doing our can they win it. we should have a can they because we did that for baseball, we did that for football. It's kind of fun to do it.
That's my favorite thing to ask Stanford Steve, like right before the
Can they win
tournament.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many teams can win it? Yeah.
Yep.
He was
I remember that. We used to ask him that all the time.
He's like, I think I have 30. Yeah.
yeah.
That's my favorite interview.
30's
I'll do
funny.
it. Definitely do it during conference championship.
He's the best. I actually love that he's always on the way he's on the side of like every big show now is awesome.
Yeah. It also
on
goes to
College Game
show
Day,
you
right?
Yeah, he is.
again, like
He was at Tennessee. Our Tennessee show.
and we love DraftKings, but obviously Barstool was first in the game. It felt like gambling back in the day was
Jim
very-
Calhoun.
What?
Jim
Calhoun
Calhoun.
definitely.
Jim Calhoun for sure. Yeah. There's a
Definitely.
few I definitely missed.
Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy Donovan.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a few I definitely missed. I did it off the top of my head without even looking. So
Yeah,
it is
people
what
are
it is.
clowning you.
Okay.
I'm just joking.
I knew I was gonna miss. I openly said I was gonna miss. But like back in the day when gambling was very niche, Barstool was very open about it. You know what I mean? And a lot of these networks were always like, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch. It goes to show you when there's money on the table how quickly like ESPN is like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, now we could talk about gambling. And to be honest, like, why didn't they for so many years? Like, there's so many guys at a bar who like, oh, the game's on. I'm gonna put this on. You know what I
they
mean?
were
Like,
afraid of it. It was
yeah, it was
taboo
weird.
at
It was very
that time.
taboo, and it's
Dude,
like,
you were looked at as like you were selling drugs.
right? Yeah, it's like
That's what it was looked like if you ever talked about it. Now it's like the biggest thing.
It was
of
like
all
how
time.
you look at weed.
yeah. I guess I do think that's breaking the law. Yeah.
Well, that's legal now.
Legal.
Yeah, I guess. Makes sense.
He still thinks it's bad.
I do think it's bad. Yeah, I do. It's
crazy.
Won't catch me doing it.
It's not bad. People use it for health.
Yeah.
Tying a bow though on the Big
Big,
Ten. I like Purdue.
Dom in fucking
that.
an entourage. My mother's called Oklahoma.
Do you think Purdue could win the Big Ten?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they haven't.
Good guards.
How many years in a row have they won it?
They are underrated this year.
there's a
Yeah,
good coach.
I still think they're a top 10 to 15 team in the country.
A big one for USC this weekend. Get them on the right
Actually,
side.
He's pretty good.
They're not bad.
Had
They're
a
starting to get together a little bit.
That's a team that what you're talking about. We should put Maryland, Penn State. Let's add USC to what can win the Big Ten tournament. Why would you ever count out Muss?
No, and it's also a team that's all brand new. So like
And
they're
they'll just get
starting to
better.
getting like they have the kid from Xavier who's fucking really good.
Mm-hmm.
I forget his name right now, but they have a good group of guys too. They're very they're just really nice. I've talked to Rude a little bit. He's just like they're all just like really good guys, which helps. And it takes a long time to get a team accustomed to each other.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to win the Big Ten. I don't think they'll. I think the best ceiling for them is like, it's going to sound weird, making the tournament or like getting in without playing in is but I do think they're going to cause a lot of problems in a tournament like that in the Big Ten where it's back to back to back.
Yeah.
If they hit a lot of shots, Iowa's got some guys, dude.
They definitely
They got some fun guys to watch. Like,
They do. They're a fun team.
yeah, very
Fun program.
Yeah.
It is weird though that like USC is like if you look at USC's history, like it's no bad like DeMar DeRozan. Like who is their like
OJ Mayo.
That's
Yeah,
another
Mayo.
team.
But like USC should be a lot better. Like, there should
Evan
be a
Mobley.
nice.
Pull up
place
USC
to-
like year by year seeds.
Mobley went-
that's
They were
another
pretty
team when
good
I'm
under
thinking about
Enfield.
it.
They were pretty good under Enfield.
Yeah, they were pretty good on
not
that field.
like-
I think USC's best finish, I could be wrong, USC's best finish going back was the Scalabrini team. And they had another guy named Sam Clancy. They played Duke in the Elite Eight. I went to the NCAA tournament that year, and USC was playing East. And you fell in love with it. They were like, oh,
Yeah.
this team's really good.
But it's just weird where it's like a good place to go. Obviously, it's fucking LA, and I guess no one really cares about basketball in LA. But I don't know. It's an odd like.
They were okay. They were okay.
I just think that it should be a better
yeah.
basketball.
Dude, click there year by year.
I am pulling up this year. 2021, they were 6th, and they lost to Gonzaga. What is that? The Elite Eight?
Yeah, first round, second round, Sweet 16, Elite Eight.
But it's seriously, who is there's DeMar DeRozan?
Click,
their best
click
player?
Andy Enfield.
Mobley probably is the
Mobley.
most
Drew
like the
Peterson,
best
too.
active player right now.
But DeRozan was really good.
I mean, DeRozan's had the best their best
I'm saying
career
right
probably
this
in the last
second,
like
yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
Just click Enfield. It'll give you more.
Okay.
I know how to do it. Scroll over.
Don't call me fucking dumb!
Call me dumb. You could see his seeds if you scroll over a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix the position.
There you go. So, all right. So 10, 7, he did make the Elite Eight, and then 9, 11, 11, 8.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, and then click even back to 2013. Who was their coach in 2013?
Sorry. Whoops. Let me find them really quick.
Just click anybody in the Big Ten. It's faster.
Is this year?
Go to 2013. Yeah, I mean, we're doing it. This is super inside baseball.
Kevin O'Neal. Want me to click on him?
Yeah. So he was there for 4 years. They made a tournament, one time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
There you go.
weird. It's just weird.
We could go back even further. But now we're doing a 20-year
When I
example.
went
where,
there,
like,
it was nice facilities.
Oh, Tim
It's-
Floyd had a nice run. Why'd he get canned?
he had an okay run. Yeah.
I mean, he made the tournament 3 years in a row, was 39th, 28th, 27th,
Yeah,
and
made it
10th
Sweet
time they
16.
get fired.
But they've never been like, yeah, I mean, this is the argument we used to get in, Marty, with one of our podcast hosts, was like, you could say, well, they made an Elite Eight. They made one. I'm saying
Yeah.
string together, like, serious
Obviously,
runs. And
good
USC hasn't
good
done
for
that.
you for making it, but it's like
Yeah.
it could have been your luck. It's like when you do it a couple times, you're like, all right, they deserve it.
Yeah.
But it is when I went there, it was nice facilities, beautiful weather in fucking January. Like it's just like, huh? Why
I
don't people go here?
I agree with you, Bosco. I do think, in retrospect, though, like the Pac-12, I wouldn't say was like elite the last couple of years. Would you?
No, I don't think they
Top-
were.
very
So
very
they
top
made,
heavy.
Yeah.
yeah, right, and they made the tournament for last
Yeah.
year. He didn't. But before that, 4 years in a row, he made the tournament.
That makes sense.
all seeds.
Well, 2020 he
all
did-
seeds were 10 or better.
Yeah, 2020, he didn't make the tournament, but he would have, obviously. There's no tournament, but they were on pace to make it.
Did we not have a tournament that year? I thought
2020.
that Dayton won it all.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. All right, we'll break down the NFL in terms of spreads more tomorrow, which is we'll probably dive into the games way more because it is weird not reading off the full cards anymore. There's only 4 games.
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting like depressing now. The 4 games? Am I doing that right?
What?
This
Yeah,
weekend?
4.
Yeah, 4 games.
It's starting to get depressing. But in terms of like, is there anything you looking at big picture touchdown scores or props or the way you look at like, hey, I like Josh Allen to throw for 2 touchdowns or different things that kind of jump out in terms of the props within the game? Or which way you kind of see like, hey, I think this game is going to be very up and down, so I like wide receiver. I think there's value in wide receivers, rushing unders. Like what kind of jumps out in the NFL?
I've seen a few different things about.
I'm gonna pull it up as well.
About just the Texans using tight ends just against the Chiefs. I've seen a little bit. Obviously, the Chiefs' defense is just so good. They're saying like I've seen a few people saying like maybe attack like Schultz props or even like Cade Stover. It's like the backup tight end. I've seen a little bit of that. I've honestly been so back and forth on that. It's obviously the first game of the weekend. I feel like I've been so back and forth on who to take just in the game in general.
Yeah. Wait, do me a favor right now, both of you. Rank the quarterbacks left.
Okay.
Okay.
I like
Mahomes
that.
I like that. It's a good exercise.
Mahomes is one. I don't think anyone can. I mean, he just is. Right?
No debate.
Like, there
I mean, in
shouldn't
terms
be-
of like who you want in the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, like who's the best
Yeah.
quarterback in the playoffs right now?
Even with a bad season,
yes,
he didn't have a great season.
he's a guy that you want in January on your team. And
Although that's what's weird. Didn't you say Aaron Rodgers had a good season statistically?
Well, no, they were like basically the
same as
same
Mahomes?
in terms of just pure numbers.
Yeah.
It's easy to
that's-
stat pad on a losing team.
Okay.
But it's just
That's
funny.
a good
It's just
point.
Funny.
That's a good point.
Of course, it's totally different, but like it is just funny where they kind of had the same stats.
Also, Josh Allen played 11 fewer quarters because his team just had to lead in the second half all those games.
Yeah.
Hurts.
No, it all obviously makes sense. It's just funny.
Mar.
I had to point it out because some people will look at that and just try
Yeah.
to mesh
All right,
Josh
so
Allen.
Mahomes is one. I'm going to put Allen two. I don't think that's much of a stretch. I'm going to put Lamar three.
Yep.
Don't think there's much of a debate there.
I think you can debate 2 or 3, but like I'm going the same as you.
All right, so now we start to get in the thick of it. It's
I go
not
s-
Stroud.
I go Stafford 4.
I'm going Stafford 4 too.
Could you not put Goff over Stafford?
I think you'd be
that
crazy.
crazy?
I think it'd be kind
Yeah, I
of
think it's
crazy.
crazy.
Respectfully to Goff, because I think Goff's a good quarterback, but I think it's just a different level. There's a reason they traded him for all the draft picks.
All
There's
right.
a reason they went.
I
and won
saw a
Super
list
Bowl
today.
after.
I saw a list today.
I think even right this second, he's better.
Bosco, I saw a list today. They had Goff 8th. That's insane.
That's nuts.
But it's not that nuts if you really.
I don't think it's
thought
like
it was
the-
nuts too.
Did he have like a worse
I don't.
season than
It's
we
not
think?
that. It's just when you. I mean, we're talking about the 8 best teams, like the 8 teams left. Like
Yeah.
there's.
There's a reason they're all here.
390 for 539, 4,600 yards, 37 TDs, 12 picks. Like Goff had
Oh, yeah, good year.
on a great team.
I know, but we are like it's.
I'm not even saying I'd rank him last, but I don't think putting him 8th out of 8 with this list is like the most like nonsense thing
Stafford
ever.
threw for like 1,000 yards less, 3,700, 20 TDs.
But the
8
team,
INTs.
but the team has to matter. Like
Yeah, like what?
Again-
yeah, he had more weapons. He had
I
more
mean, it's
weapons.
it's so funny thinking of like obviously that he played for Detroit for so long, and it's
had
like
more weapons.
you're like imagine Stafford on this team if you had not acquired like you got all these assets you acquired from getting rid of him, and then like putting him back
You
on the
also
team.
have to
How good they'd be?
Who would you like when there's 2 minutes? It's basically this exercise. 2 minutes left. Who do you want as your quarterback? I would rather Stafford be my quarterback than.
Yeah.
I don't think I could argue with that.
But
But
you have 5.
But I wouldn't if I had.
So you want Goff 5 then for you? You can have your own. It's your list. I don't.
But if I was playing you and you took Stafford and I took Goff, I wouldn't feel like it was a massive mismatch, if that makes sense.
Well, no,
With
no,
2
no,
minutes
but
left on the ball.
Think
We're
about-
each gonna get the ball with 2 minutes. Score. Let's see what happens. I don't hate myself if I have Goff.
But you have to think about it like this. Like it's I guess if you go back, like is the question like what offense you rather have or quarterback? Because I think you have to like separate like
Okay.
like Goff he's this guy with like this team, but I always try to think quarterbacks that way. Like put Stafford on this Lions football team. What does it look like? Because I think it looks even probably to like even another level.
Yeah.
I would go Stafford 4. I really think Allen and Lamar are splitting hairs.
I think the top 3 is stupid to even talk about. It's just whatever you want. It's the top 3, and then 4 through 8 is where it's. I go Stafford 4. So
Yeah, I think there's some people who might put Allen ahead of Mahomes. I don't agree with them, but I think
Yeah.
there's some.
Could be.
If you surveyed 100 people, I think some people would be like, I like Lamar. They could say I like Lamar a little bit more, or they like Allen a little bit more.
So who do you guys have 5?
All right, so Stafford's 4.
I know who I want.
Who?
I want Jane Daniels.
5?
Yeah, I do.
Over Goff
Yeah, I do.
and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, and my guy Stroud. I'm being like I just think I think he's the real
I'm not
fucking
arguing
deal.
with you for a reason.
And again, it's another thing. It's like, who would you want, like, with the ball in his hands, final 2 minutes? Like,
He's also,
I want Jane Daniels.
Funny
with the ball
thing
in
is,
his hand.
now you can at least say you saw something of like how calm he was and how
And he's done it
he
all
was.
year. He's been in those spots and has been
First thing
so
you
calm.
could say is like, well, he's a rookie. It's the playoffs. Let's wait. You saw what he did last week. I don't know. And also in a away game.
He's done it
last
all
minute.
year and against good teams like Eagles. I mean, you've just seen him. I mean, even you could say the Bengals defense is bad. Like, they need, like, bang, hit the deep ball to McLaurin. Like, that was, to me, the moment that I was like, holy shit.
I gotta be honest. My
Like,
list.
he's unbelievable.
My list was same for 5 was Jaden Daniels, 6 was Goff, 7 was Hurts, and Stroud was 8. And it's not against Stroud. This is a top 8 quarterback.
It's tough. Like, the last
It is really
few is
hard.
tough.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate Tommy DeVito for costing us Jaden Daniels?
I don't ever look at it like that, but I do. I'm mad. Yeah, I'd love him.
Like, if you really think about it, it's like the Commanders GM gets seen as a genius because he drafted Jaden Daniels. They're a winning team this year. You own your franchise guy. Everything's great. If they don't get Jaden Daniels, like if they win the meaningless games, they try like Sam Howell or whoever. Entirely different narrative around that whole front office. Like Jaden Daniels is saving jobs.
Oh,
You think so? I think they made also a shit ton of other moves. Like that trade that they had last
But
year.
what matters most, the quarterback.
I agree, but they also, like, I mean, I don't
Like
think they
what
would be
moves,
getting.
Dukes?
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Who they trade to the Bears last year that got clowned in real
Sweat.
time?
Sweat.
Yeah, and now Sweat's like a mystery on the Bears. Nobody talked about him all year, and they didn't they get draft capital back for him?
Yeah, like second rounder, I think.
I think it matters too, like the Giants situation. Like Giants didn't have a great O line.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
Giants didn't have a massive running back. We traded Saquon, so like we
no, we didn't trade him.
I'm sorry,
We
we
got nothing
let,
for him.
We let Saquon go.
Way
I
worse.
apologize.
Then
We
he should
should have
be.
traded him.
We let
Yeah, should have traded him if they had
we
no
got a good
intention of
running
signing
We
back.
let Saquon. We lost Saquon. We let Saquon go. I apologize. So like, and you had neighbors, but the rest of the wide receiving core like didn't really get you that excited. So like, if you put Daniels in that situation, could it be one of those things where like he doesn't shine in New York? You know what I mean?
I listen. It's hard to argue. Like it's hard to quantify. Like if he'd have the same success in the Giants, but I'll tell you what, him and Neighbors were special.
he would have been
I think
great.
they would have been
But
special.
we wouldn't have both. You know.
Of course.
Oh
of
yeah,
course.
that's the
of
other
course.
point. That's
But they could
very
have gotten
true.
a wide receiver.
But yeah, they could have got someone
Very
else.
true.
Yeah,
I will
very
say,
true.
but I
We
will
would
say,
not have had neighbors. That's very true.
Terry McLaurin's way better than any of our other receivers. So it's
Right.
like,
Well, yeah, not even
That's
close.
true.
Now
The
that makes
rest of
the
the
situation
wide
even worse. Like I
receivers
could see Jane Daniels running for his life and
but
being
it depends on your
depleted
it
and,
depends
like,
on your
whatever.
what you have. Like now, when we get a quarterback, it's like we're giving you a star, like on our side now. Like when our other quarterbacks didn't have any star on our wide receiver core. It's they had Saquon, but you need someone to throw to.
But okay, let's like go back in time. If we have a second overall pick, like we're obviously taking Daniels at that spot, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, they
Okay.
would have.
Like there's no debate. Like it's not. We're not saying, like,
Dave,
our-
Dave believe in it. Said it in the the Hard Knock stuff before they drafted. He loved him.
Yeah. If he's
There's
there,
no
it's-
world.
They had the thing to say, would you trade up for him? And he was like, they like from
Was
everything
there
I've seen, like, for
there was
sure.
no world where he was taking Drake May ahead of Jane Daniels?
No.
They want.
I'm just checking.
He spoke about it. He was like,
I know he liked May. That's all.
Yeah.
They spoke about it. I think they just knew there was no obviously they're not trading interdivision to a team who also they need a quarterback really bad.
I think what annoys me most is like DeVito didn't even play like that great in those like wins. Like Drew Lock, he tanked our pick this year, but like at least he like balled out versus the Colts. Tommy DeVito didn't really play well.
It's just always like I get what you mean, Meek. Like as a fan, I'm 100% angry at him, but it's also like the guy's just trying to get a paycheck,
Yeah,
trying to stay in the league. It's like no guy is ever going to make the NFL. Like even Milton said that for the Patriots. He's like, I got to play one time. You think I'm going to go out there and not try and win?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just. Mad
I get what you mean,
I'm
though.
mad he
It's
wasn't
Great.
worse.
It was a great quote by Joe Milton.
He might be your quarterback.
No, I
There
mean,
might be
he's gonna
controversy
They
in the
might trade him
Patriots
for a
room.
second.
he might be your quarterback.
No,
He might
No.
be.
He might get traded to the Giants.
no, he's not.
Yeah, for a third rounder. I saw it. I'm not even trolling.
I know you saw it, but it doesn't. It's not.
He,
I'm
he
telling you,
there's going to be a lot of chatter for Joe Milton for a third round pick.
that'd be insane for playing one game. Insane.
He also played well in the preseason.
He got
though.
drafted in the third round, right?
Now later than that, I thought
Yeah.
Round, yeah, that'd be
fourth or fifth. I think maybe even sixth.
I mean, all week we're talking about how hungry
let me
teams are
fact
for a
check
quarterback.
that.
A cheap quarterback, someone that only can provide upside. He's got the strongest arm in the NFL. He's what, 5, 6, 6?
Yeah, 6th round. Yeah, I was right. 6th round.
I think
He's got all the tools.
It
I mean,
sounds like you should keep him for your
I
good,
would love to keep him.
Yeah,
I'm just
they
saying.
should
I think that he's definitely on the trading block.
He's the kind of guy, if you're building a Madden franchise and
gonna
you want to have a
tell
shitty quarterback with potential, he's the guy that you want.
He's definitely on the
right
trading
now,
block.
that's the last guy I want. I'm not even kidding.
It'd be perfect for you
Joe
guys.
Milton.
Last guy.
The
I want.
last time,
Also, it would be funny. It would be funny just on that he fits like Dable was
Dable.
like the Josh Allen guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the prototype.
perfect.
Like Daniel Jones was like the first one. Now it's we're pivoting to Joe Milton. He's like the next prototype. We're just going a little younger.
Yeah,
Little
it's
more,
perfect.
little more athletic, a better arm. Daniel Jones never had like a rocket arm.
It's perfect.
Finish both of your lists.
Oh, all right. Stafford, I'll go Goff. I think I'll go Daniels, Hurts, and then Stroud. Which is, I guess, a knock on Hurts to a degree, but like
Hurts is 7 on mine too. Hurts is not like
It's
not a guy where
you
you're
were
like,
saying that the 2-minute drill thing almost makes me like borderline want to put him last
you can put him last. Dude, he's
because he's of the 8 quarterbacks. He's probably 8th in terms of like just a natural thrower of the football.
Yes.
Like Stroud's a better thrower than he is.
1,000%.
So I think I'd have Stroud ahead of him just because I believe him to like.
I think those are
if you're telling me all these quarterbacks get the ball in the 25, like on their own 25, it's all even. Like they all play on the same like it's all even team wise. I think I trust Stroud to like throw the ball like down the field, like pick up the first downs, get in field goal range, go score a touchdown.
If you
I've came down. I was a big like Hurts like rider, especially just how well he played in that Super Bowl. But he's just inconsistent.
Very.
And the team this year, you're really seeing how like, I mean, Saquon's taking them to such a new level. Where part of it's maybe he hasn't had to throw as much because their run game's so dominant. But I also just
when
think
he has to throw, it's just like, oh.
Like I said, yeah, I think of these 8 quarterbacks, I think he's probably 8th in terms of just purely like throwing the ball.
Yeah.
all right, yeah, we can kind of wrap up.
By
there
the
and
way,
get into
I
picks.
looked at the Washington offseason they had. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, just besides Jaden Daniels. Like, do you guys care for it at
Yeah,
all?
let's see it. Yeah, just for
I think it is. They just signed a bunch of. They didn't sign a superstar. They just signed all pieces. We're like,
I
holy
thought
shit.
Eckler was a great piece.
Right. So if you think. So they got.
I always
make
liked
it
Eckler.
make it you able to make it smaller.
I always liked that.
Eckler got a rough go. Like his last season, everyone's like, oh, he sucks now.
Wagner was a great pickup. Wagner probably is their best, honestly. Mariota's the backup.
Hey,
I thought Ertz was a good sign.
Ertz, great pickup. Really good. Ertz and Wagner probably the two best.
We don't care,
Yeah.
Meek. We don't care.
They're good
We don't
moves,
care,
but
Meek.
I
We don't
care.
care, Meek.
I care.
We don't care.
Actually,
Stop-
Fowler's. Actually, I keep saying this. Fowler, he had like 10+ sacks for nothing, for like no money.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got.
They
all
really
the-
did. Louvu had a great year. They really did.
All
They
great.
refixed their offensive line too.
Yeah,
like
got a good center. That's huge.
All good
Lineman,
moves.
huge.
But what matters most? Going from Sam Howell to
Jeremy
Then they-
Chin's a stud.
Yeah.
Chin's a good player.
Yeah, but also
And then they
helping
got, like,
your
Quellen
quarterback
Farrell,
have
like-
all this.
And they got rid of Chase Young and Montez Sweat, who were like the two.
Farrell. That's just the name.
Meek is furious.
That should
Furious.
recall it.
Meek
I
is
think
furious that
every
taking
single
anything away that they put
every
together a
single
good
team,
point.
should, every single team should look cheap. Meek, cheap.
All right,
like this is a
points.
rebuilding year for them.
2 points before we get off the tangent because I did forget it yesterday.
Brandon McManus.
I think GMs should get just as much credit in an offseason for not only adding a guy, but losing a guy before he fucking bottoms out.
Yes.
Which is what they did.
Exactly.
And also, the other point, we said it yesterday, and then it kind of got lost in the shuffle, and I don't want to go back to it. It is what it is. But, like, we talk all the time about how, like, coaches get a bad rap and coaches get a bad rap. Do you think, like, GMs almost get a little bit more leash? Or we don't go backwards and, like, say, like, hey, this guy, look at this guy. He never made a Super Bowl with all that talent. And, like, just trash on a coach from years back, you know, or, like, whatever. I feel like we don't revisit GMs and be like, look at this guy's draft. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we'll love to talk about coaches. Oh, yeah, that guy was horrible in history. Or like guys like even like Rich Kotite with the Jets had like a horrific Jet year. I'm sure Clemmer knows about it. Like, or like small periods of different things like that. You should go back to a period of time. I guess maybe because we don't know their names, but like GM should get fucking held by the wayside or like held to the feet of the player.
Bosco, you just said it. We just don't know their name.
That's
like,
good. Yeah.
Like the casual fan can't just rip off like all the GM's names.
Because you don't really care.
They'll name some of the coaches.
I don't know.
You know the
and
shitty
all those
GMs
guys, they're just unemployed.
Right.
They're just like
I don't know. Like, TikTok's going away, but like I would love a TikTok page of like deep diving into this shit. Of like, look at how bad this.
One of 100
All
followers.
right, whatever. Look at how bad this GM was. All right.
The GM page on TikTok is so funny.
It's 32 TikToks
better than
created 2021. It doesn't exist anymore.
It's better than seeing half of a movie clip and the bottom half is a fucking somebody assembling a saw.
Hey, those
Like
are
it's
great.
better than that.
No, I will say
that gets more views though.
Like the
Plus get
GM
more views. That somehow I don't know why they do that split screen shit.
It's-
They
it's-
do a Barstool
it's-
stuff.
you
I've
watch
seen
the
a
other
yak
stuff.
clip with them doing like a bowl maze.
because
It's
you
crazy.
watch that.
It's
part.
the intention span.
Yeah, I
of-
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say the GM stuff is like you just don't like care really.
No,
what
I
they're-
agree,
'cause
yeah.
again, you're not really looking. But what Meek's point is too the.
Should we start deep diving GMs in like June
No.
and July?
No.
Like,
Who are the worst
Just so
GMs?
Clemmer doesn't get to talk baseball. Like
It's honestly not a bad
There's
idea.
a good quarterback that just didn't have like a really good quarterback that just didn't have really a great team around them because
Matt Stafford.
yeah, I think that's actually
Calvin Johnson obviously was like
Honestly,
one
I
of
would
the best
say
wide receivers, but like
I know he had I mean Andrew Luck. That was like their offensive line was so
So
bad.
bad.
Yeah,
It like
I think
literally
that's good,
ruined his
too. But
career.
that shows where it's like,
And they
great
still were making the
quarterback.
playoffs and
That's the
shit.
thing. Like you're still making the playoffs. Not.
But
as
he,
bad.
but
I'm
but
talking
he
about
but he
three
was that.
teams.
I think
Carson Palmer?
He was that good of a
no.
player.
Carson Palmer is really
but
good.
you need that GM.
They had some good teams around him at times.
I'm not
too.
For
saying
sure.
you
I
need-
guess injuries. I'm just trying to think.
I mean, the Eagles GM is probably like the best, right?
Right now, he's definitely he's really good. He's definitely very
Yeah, but
good.
he-
Jeff Purdue wants him
sucked off
fired
for,
for getting their
like, all the
franchise
moves.
quarterback.
He's drafted like I mean what they've done to turn around their defense was so bad.
Insane.
Drafting Mitchell and
Also-
DeJean as like 1
also
2 was
fleecing
unbelievable.
AJ Brown. It's one of the worst
They were also the
trades of all
team.
time.
They drafted N'Kobe when N'Kobe Dean came out of college after winning that national title with Georgia. He was the best player in that defense, and he was kind of small, and he like waited to get the injury. Everyone thought he was gonna be like a top 10 pick. He falls to the 3rd round because of the injury thing. He's
John
a
Lynch is
stud,
really good.
Which he just got hurt for the year, but he's unbelievable. I
Yeah.
mean, he's like a stud linebacker for them.
100%.
I mean, Jalen Carter falls to like 10.
Well, he
He's
fell
like,
for other reasons.
but still, they took the chance
took the
and,
risk.
and he's had no, at least to this point in the league, he's had no like real problems, and he's a all world player.
And last thing I want to say before the show ends is I think every team would want to whatever.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. I have to say,
good.
Zach Bond.
yeah.
Yeah.
This guy was off the shit pile. He
Not-
should be like defensive player of the year candidate.
Becton.
Becton, yeah, moved tackle like a just
No,
what
he's
shit,
great.
but shit tackle with the Jets. Moving the guard, he's a stud guard. For like he really has done an unbelievable job putting together his team. Saquon, I mean
Yeah.
Saquon, like that looks like a bargain
That's
now.
looking like the
Oh,
McCaffrey
yeah.
trade for the 49ers a couple years
I
ago
thought you
now.
He got him for free, and he got him
Yeah,
like
for-
didn't have to give him assets, like just had to
But
pay
every,
him.
every GM
No
also has
assets.
misses too. Like Devin White was a whiff. Jahan Dotson was
This
a
is-
whiff.
this
But,
is-
like, he
John
gets
Dotson's-
a
John
95%
Dotson's their
hit rate.
4th receiver.
John Dotson's the 4th receiver, and he scored a touchdown in the playoff game last week.
Hey, I'm saying he's a whiff. Devin White,
But I don't think
say
I'd call that
Devin
a
White's
whiff.
Can I call Devin White a whiff?
I mean, they
I
legitimately
guess.
He was
signed him.
fundamentally
They
good.
legitimately picked him up from when he was a contractor. He was a contractor in
Yeah.
Florida, and they picked him up and they're like, you know what? Fuck it, let's see what he's got.
all
It's not like they were
Yeah.
bringing him on to be a fucking all-pro.
he's a-
You
Meeks, I think-
are so dumb.
I'm Dukes. I can speak louder. That means I'm right. I said he's a.
but
he's
you
right 98% of the time. Even the best one has misses. Michael Jordan missed shots too.
But I don't think you can say it's a whiff when you don't like pay him anything.
I agree with what you're saying, but the fact that you used Devin White when he was in a fucking like yellow truck, like making like fucking
Well,
houses.
fucking Max Delente was sucking him off, so I was like, "Oh, Howie, we got Devin White," and I straight up said that's a bad football player. And you know what? I'm right.
You know what?
And I'm the one who remembers that.
But whiffing like
It was like a no risk, like high reward.
whiffing
Yes.
Gamble, like-
if you whiff on team like
It's like
on,
Joe Milton.
No,
You
no,
got-
no,
if you
whiffing-
got Joe Milton, you're like, oh shit, like yeah, he's probably not going to be our starter, but it's like a low risk, high reward situation. That was what Devin White is. You can't really whiff on a situation like that.
You only whiff when there's
It's a free swing.
Like, if they missed-
If on a free swing.
If Saquon sucked, that's a whiff.
Yes, exactly. Like
I don't
you
know.
pay a guy big money and he doesn't pan out. That's a whiff.
I said he's the best
Giving a guy like the vet,
What they get Dotson
giving
for?
the guy like the vet minimum to
I'll
like
tell
come
you
in
what's
and
a whiff.
try out is
What's
not
a whiff is Kirk Cousins. That's a whiff.
That's
Whiff.
a whiff.
Whiff.
a
Yeah,
whiff.
Kirk Cousins is a
That's-
whiff. Yes.
You know
whiff.
what was also? You know
Tom
what?
Frazier
Want to
whiff.
talk about another whiff that the Falcons had, which Clemmer was clowning on in the beginning of the year? was
Kirk Cousins. Almost
no,
had-
who did pay? Judon.
Almost
Judon
said-
was a whiff.
Oh, Pat's fleece.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pat's
please.
fleece.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is almost like doubly bad because you may have drafted the right guy too.
Yeah.
Like if you could have got.
But see,
you're paying.
but see if you
paying
draft,
like,
but if you
fuck.
draft the right guy, like it's still a whiff on Cousins. But then it's like, see, this is why we did.
Yeah,
But
we
it
did
is
both.
kind of double whiff though, because when you draft the right guy, you're like, it's amazing because you have 5 years of not paying him, and now you're paying a guy.
Yeah. Oh, that's
and then
even- you're right,
double
yeah.
paying-
Compliments, that compliments.
You're double paying Penix now when he's
But
ready.
the money, but to my understanding, the guaranteed money really only goes through like last year and this next year.
Yeah, but still,
So
it's
you
just
still
like-
would have like 3 years of like if Penix pans out to what they want him to be.
Yeah.
You'd still get like another 2 years after that where you're not paying Cousins, and then obviously if he's good, you pick up his 5th-year option where he's making like good money but still not like franchise money.
You know, there's also the impossible whiff situation. Like Russell Wilson would have been impossible to whiff on.
Matt Flynn
Impossible.
was
Yes,
a whiff.
agreed.
possible. $1 million, it doesn't matter.
You're right. Right.
And then even it's like,
Anything, actually
even
did
you say
good for
Matt
him.
Flynn was like a whiff, but they hit a grand slam on Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they drafted in the 3rd round and he won a Super
I would
Bowl.
actually say it would have been a whiff because I think then a lot of GMs get scared with like, well, we paid this guy, we have to start. And the fact that they're like, no, he's like, even like Brock Purdy, like the fact
Yeah.
that like they whiffed on Trey Lance, but they're like, all right, we have our guy, like we're not just gonna like overthink this because we drafted a guy higher. They were
Yeah.
just like, this is our best quarterback.
That's
This is
what
our
good
best
organizations do.
Right. John Lynch
like
is a
Pete,
great-
Pete Carroll was, I don't give a shit. We paid
I
this
think-
guy. Wilson's just that much better. He's playing.
As much as I agree with you, Meek, I also think that for a GM to whiff and then swallow your pride is more impactful.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Because there's some guys that have
100%.
egos and they will just like carry a guy because they don't want to admit they're wrong. I'm saying like even the best of the best have been wrong, and if you say you've never been wrong before, you're a liar.
I don't think anyone was saying that.
I think we were just saying, don't call like a.
Where did that one come
All we were saying was Devin White was not like
Oh, he's a horrible football player.
that was
I
an
think you just
impossible
hate
whiff.
Devin
Well,
White.
I do
He
hate
also,
Devin
he also,
White.
he was good at one point.
Yeah.
like he was
He was
really,
only
like
good
really
for the Super Bowl
good.
run. That's the only time his career was
He was
ever
only good when he was the best player in a championship defense. Other than that, he
those
stunk.
4 games.
Wasn't
the only
he?
time
Wasn't
his
he like?
NFL career
Wasn't he a
was
Pro
good.
Bowler? And like, am I misremembering?
He was a good player.
He was a Pro Bowler.
Wasn't he top?
Well,
three
honestly, well, I
defensive
guess
player
let me
in
say,
the NFL?
Levante David was the better player, but
Thank
Devin
you.
White was good.
Thank you.
Levante David's like should be like a Hall of Famer potentially.
Oh, I agree.
Yes.
All right. Surviving Barstool finale tonight. I am just going to say that this finale is tonight because we're in the same position that Ben Mintz was last year, day of the finale. So all I'm going to say is that the finale is tonight at 8 o'clock.
Watch it.
Watch it.
Just
You
watch
should
it.
watch it.
Just watch
That's
it.
all we're going to fucking
There's
say.
a
That's all we're going to
live,
fucking
live
say.
reunion after as well.
Yes, live reunion as well after. So just
Maybe I'll make the headline of the show: Rico Bosco spoils Survivor.
Honestly,
So
though,
to
Please
drive
don't.
up.
Please, I'm
to-
so high. Please don't.
I know.
That's not a
I know.
bad
We got to
idea,
bump you
though.
down a little bit.
No, don't do that.
No,
but it's a
'cause-
fake headline.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that.
No,
We'll get community notes.
Just don't do that. Because I didn't do it. Just don't do that.
Rico Bosco pulls a Ben Mintz.
Just please don't.
Okay,
Do that.
no.
And that's just about.
And that's just him
talking about
cashing a parlay.
himself. Yeah.
Can I do that?
Please don't do that. We don't need the edge.
Rico
headline.
Bosco pulls a Ben Mintz on the last day
Honestly,
of surviving
Pick Central,
Barstool.
we should
need
just
that.
we should honestly just start lying on the headlines just so we get
People say Rico Bosco pulls a Ben Mintz. They're like, which one?
he's
Oh shit! Yeah, there's a lot of Ben Mintz.
He said it. He said it. Said what?
Rico Bosco sang Mincy in Paris. Oh my God!
Just please watch the show at 8 o'clock, and please don't do that because it's just not true.
Also,
Just
You're
not
having,
fair.
dude. Come on.
I know we're having fun with
Chop.
the pals, but you got to remember, like, I'm having a good week, and I get fucking railroaded down. It's like,
on, you-
come on, it's not
The
fair.
roller coaster always comes back down.
it
Let's
does,
just
I know,
accelerate
yeah.
the process.
Bosco's riding a high.
Before after Surviving Barstool, make sure you watch Major League. R.I.P. Bob Uecker.
Yeah, Bob Uecker was a tough loss. I also
really
think there's a
sad.
very funny clip of Adam Carolla, I believe, saying that Uecker used to use the mute button to, like, hit on girls while the
No,
ball
no.
was-
Eddie posted it today.
Yes.
It was him on Stern. Well, no, it was Artie Lang on Stern.
Oh, Artie Lang on
with,
Stern.
with
I thought
Norm,
it was
I believe it was
Carolla.
with Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald. Okay,
And
I
they
mixed up
talked
Carolla
about
and Macdonald.
Norm was like such good friends with him. Somebody he like didn't want to tell the story.
Yes.
He, like, I guess Artie Lang told it on Letterman, and Uecker got kind of pissed.
Yeah.
And they told him to get on Stern. He was like, "He's 90. Who gives a fuck if he's mad
Yeah,
at me?" Like kind
exactly.
of thing. He's like, "I love Bob Uecker."
Also,
so funny.
One of the best college basketball writers of all time, Luke Wynn. Google Luke Wynn, Bob Uecker. He did a profile of it. I'm like 99% positive. You can double check that. Very good profile of Uecker. Uecker he's a baseball lifer.
Dude, I mean, it's
like I'm sure Clem would have more and more like
one hit,
stuff
one
in on it.
goddamn hit.
But he's
Major League is
unbelievable.
all time.
He's unbelievable in that. Unbelievable.
It sounds like basically Major League kind of was just like that in real life. Like,
Yeah.
just with the mute button.
Yeah, here we go. It was in 2010 in Sports Illustrated. Luke Wynn, bummer of a summer. Brewers games won't be the same without Ueck. Here we go. 2013, the endless summer of Bob Uecker, Inside Sports Illustrated. You can read that. Just Google Luke Wynn. It was unbelievable. It's a really good article. I love Luke Wynn. I wish he was still covering college basketball. Picks. I'm on Utah Valley -1.5 tonight. Ev.
I'm on Northwestern +2 tonight. And I'm actually on really, really crazy good home team against the spread. Cavs beat the Thunder the last time they played. I'm taking the Thunder tonight at home, -1.5. You have Thunder -1.5, Northwestern +2.
I know you're not worried at all, Dukes, but any bit at the Celtics or no?
I mean, for sure, but like
The Raptors was a weird loss.
I agree. I think the team kind of looks lost at the moment. Just like disinterested in the defensive end, disinterested in like it's weird like seeing Peyton Pritchard like wave off Tatum. Like worried, yeah, sick of Missoula ball, maybe. But at the end of the day, like I do think that like the best time to kind of be in this funk is right now.
Sure.
It's January, they're bored.
Yeah,
I
like,
was just watching
I
for
do-
2 seconds yesterday at one point, and I was like, oh, the Celtics.
I also
the
just
Raptors.
I also just like am at the point with the Celtics that like I always like, oh, they could beat the wins record. Do I think this is one of the most talented NBA teams of all time? Yes. But I'm at the point where I'm treating them like the Cavs with LeBron. Like
You guys are gonna fuck us.
just get into the playoffs.
See him second round.
The 2-3s, that's gonna be so fucking annoying.
Yeah. First round.
No, I'm saying like if the Knicks, like if it stands how it is, like the Cavs have such a big lead now on the Celtics and the Knicks that it would be 2-3, like the Knicks and Celtics would play in the second round.
Like, yeah, I don't
which would be
care
so
for
fucking
2-3-1.
No, they were playing this. Yeah, second.
No, as a pathetic Knicks fan, like I want God, can I just play in the Eastern Conference Finals? Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like
But,
holy
yeah,
shit.
I guess
like
you
last year,
listen.
everyone gets injured. We didn't get the Eastern Conference
That's a
Finals.
good point.
And it was the Celtics. And the problem is, even if somehow we're able to beat the Celtics, it'll feel like that'll be like the dump of a life, like the adrenaline.
yeah.
Like it'll feel like you won the finals.
But you gotta go
And then
through
you'll have to
the-
play like a really
And the
tough Cavs
You gotta
team.
go through the Celtics anyway.
When you've owned them, is good. but like,
it's
and this
weird.
is the best team they've had. They've obviously
You
improved.
gotta go through the Celtics anyway, though.
No, for sure. But I'm saying,
You're right,
as a
you're
Knicks
right.
fan, I'm so pathetic. I would love to just see
Yeah,
them
just
in
get
Eastern
to the
Conference
Eastern Conference.
Finals.
That's
Like,
totally fair.
I'm like, fuck, man. Like, and the Celtics are so fucking good.
If they make it, we're going thanks to game time.
For sure. No, I would absolutely.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, no chance.
Good luck with that.
You actually.
I'm gonna get the best. I'm
you
gonna get the
tricked
best.
me.
I'm gonna get the best deals possible.
The guy behind you, you could.
Or
Probably.
Frank could.
Actually, no, you can't either.
Why?
No one here.
Streaming. Frank will go.
Yeah.
Oh right.
Dukes tricked me for like a second. I was like, oh yeah, we will. I was like, oh yeah, no, we fucking won't.
Knicks, Celtics.
Yeah, no,
way.
we're streaming every game.
I can go. Yeah, I can go if you guys
I think
want.
I'm sick on May 26th.
Marty, what do you got tonight?
I got Temple +8.5. I have Minnesota +9.5 against Michigan. I also have Drexel -1.5, and my last one was one late night game. Where the fuck is it? Maryland's -1.5.
Okay.
That's a rat line. I'm gonna get ratted on.
All right.
And I was done betting Rutgers and Dayton. Done.
Yeah, you gotta get
Rutgers
them
is
on the list.
+8.5 tonight at Nebraska.
Did they cover the other night?
Oh.
Rutgers.
They did, I think, right?
Yeah.
The other night they did.
I'm
What's
just
in
done because I'm this every Rutgers spread I love. They beat UCLA, so yeah.
All right. That takes care
I
of-
got some.
Go ahead.
Washington State -12.5 against San Diego.
Okay.
I'm riding you with Northwestern +2. I think this is a great spot to be in for Northwestern. They got kind of ran out of the gym
Yeah.
by Michigan State the other day. They're way better than that. And I'm just tailing 3-point sniper on his best bet, Towson -4.5.
Love it.
All right. That is Pick Central. Yak is rocking now. Surviving Barstool finale at 8 o'clock. Show right after. Go check that out. And we will be back tomorrow with a Football Friday for the NFL playoffs.